What up, y'all? This is Tracy from Nerd Squish, and today we'll be talking about Stranger Things Season 4, Episode 8. Alright, y'all, Volume 2 of Stranger Things Season 4 has officially hit Netflix, and I'm sure we have all binged it. Maybe multiple times. I hope I'm not the only one. So I want to sit down and do a little recap and review of the first episode of Volume 2. If you're new here, this is Nerd Squish, where we take everything spooky and we take everything nerdy and we squish it all together. So if you like Stranger Things and horror movies and all things pop culture, definitely hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos from us in the future. This is my moment in the video to throw up the spoiler warning. If you have not seen Stranger Things, especially Volume 2, stop. No further. Go to Netflix, watch the show, and then come back. We'll be waiting for you. Alright, starting off this episode, we have Nancy still stuck in the Upside Down in Vecna's trance. Naturally, she's trying to run away, which just gives me the ultimate Nightmare on Elm Street vibes. We already have so many of those, being that, you have this guy that gets you in this dream state, and then you have actual Robert Englund, but there's something about this scene where she's running and he does the Nancy. Clearly I can't do a Vecna voice, but he says her name and he's like, it's Nightmare, and I love it. Feeling it. Now, while she's trying to escape Vecna, you have Steve, slapping her, trying to get out the state, and the rest of the Hawkins crew in the right side up, trying to find music to snap her out of it. So they're searching around for music, they're panicking, they're like, what do we put on? Madonna, Blondie, what do? We need music! And that's when your boy Eddie grabs the Iron Maiden, he's like, this is music! Best part ever. So Vecna finally traps her, straps her down into the chair, and shows her the future, the horrendous things to come. Once Nancy returns to the right side up, she tells the rest of the crew what she's seen, and that is the Upside Down taking over their town of Hawkins. And Vecna's plan to make this happen is to open up one more gate to make 4 total. Maybe like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse? I think so. So in true Nancy Wheeler fashion, she's like, we gotta go back to the Upside Down and we gotta fight this dude. And everybody's like, no, let's maybe not say we did. Ultimately, they do all decide to attack Vecna when he takes his next victim, because he'll be in this defenseless, trance-like state in the attic of the Creel house. But who is that next victim gonna be? How do we decide who this is? Well, Max volunteers herself because she feels like she's still marked. And after all, she has escaped him before and feels like she can do it again, thinking about happy memories, because that's ultimately how Vecna gets you. He puts you in your darkest, most traumatic memories. So in order to fight him, you have to think of happy memories to walk towards the light. Now, back in Russia, we still have the gang trying to escape the prison. They have demodogs all over the place, there's chaos, and while trying to escape, they find even more craziness. A demodog on an operating table, sliced open, but still alive, and then more demodogs in these floating tanks, and some shadowy particles swirling around in a chamber. That certainly can't be good. Once they finally escape and bam through those gates, which Murray loves so very much. Hopper's asking everybody, are you okay? Are you okay? And Murray's like, okay, I'm great. Nothing like a little prison break to get your day started. Am I right? Or am I right? They make it to Yuri's plane, which is actually a hunk-of-junk helicopter that's named after his first lover with a very round buttocks. But unlike her, this thing is a virgin and it has never flown. So Joyce and Hopper are developing a backup plan, trying to contact Owens, but that's difficult in and of itself because they're in Russia and, the Soviet Union, so they have to speak in code. They're trying to get in touch, but they don't know when they'll hear back. So our Hawkins crew has a plan, but what do they need to make this plan happen? They need weapons. So Eddie tells them about this place, Warzone, that's just outside of Hawkins, that they can go to get all the weapons they need to fight Vecna. No, the only problem is they need a way to get there, because you can't exactly bike there. So what do? They hotwire an RV. But wait a minute, Eddie's a wanted man. How do we even get to an RV in the first place? Well, he had to use a little disguise. And since Max didn't have a bandana or a ski mask, your boy Michael Myers is just gonna have to do. That's right, her mask, back from trick-or-treating when the gang all first met, returns. So Eddie can run to the RV, not get caught, and hotwire that thing so they can get some weapons. And this whole scene is amazing, because he literally pops around the trailer and he's in his usual attire, the Hellfire Club shirt, the leather jacket, but he's got the Michael Myers mask, and it is amazing. And I cannot wait to see this cosplay pop up at conventions because, I mean, it's easy, it's amazing, and I love it. Again, because Eddie is a wanted man, he can't exactly be the one driving the RV, so they're like, okay, well, you can't do that. And he's like, well, of course. So he looks at Steve and says, Harridan's got her. Don't ya, big boy? And that is just, it's a moment. It's a moment. And while we're in this RV, we're getting a lot of really good character interactions. We have Steve driving, revealing to Nancy that he's always seen in his future to have a bunch of kids, 6 kids, a full brood of Harringtons, if you will. Put him in an RV, travel across the world, and it's this just really cute moment between the two before the certain doom that's coming in the next episode. And of course, things don't go quite smoothly when they get to the war zone because this place is poppin'. I mean, I don't know if they got sales because you can't tell me that just because they think like satanic panic, they all need to go get guns. Like, what? But in this whole crazy crowd, none other than the basketball team is there. Jason looking hella hungover and tired, so the crew has to run out of there pretty quickly. Now back at the lab, Elle is finally woken up now that she has remembered everything that happened. She walks into the room, lifts Nina in the air with her powers, and not only that, but she has used her little trance-like state thing that she can get in to hear her friend's conversation, so she knows that they're going to kill Vecna. So naturally, she begs Dr. Owens to send her back to Hawkins so she can help them. And of course, Dr. Brenner is like, oh, she's not ready. You know, Henry gets stronger with each victim he takes. You can't do this. So while Dr. Owens is making plans for Elle to return back to Hawkins, he gets double-crossed by Dr. Brenner, who handcuffs him to a pipe. And then he confronts Elle and tells her, no, lady, you gotta stay here and we gotta finish the work. So they get into a huge fight. And she tells him, all these deaths that have been happening, all this chaos, it's because of you. All these things that she was doing for him was to search for Henry. So she tells him, I came here to understand who I was, to see if I was the monster. And now I know the truth. It is not me, it is you. You are the monster. So they continue go back and forth. It's getting real intense for a second. I thought your girl Elle was gonna kill Brenner. And then she rips the door to escape and he does the old needle in the neck. She passes out. Meanwhile, our California crew is trying to find the Nina Project in the desert. Mike and Will are having another heart-to-heart in the back of the van. Mike confides to Will that he feels like Elle might not need him anymore. You know, after all, when he found her, it was just luck. It wasn't fate. She needed somebody. She was alone, and there he was. So Will asks him, can I show you something? And you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. He shows him the painting. No. Not that one. Not that one. Okay, that's more like it. That's the painting. But of course he tries to play it off and say that, you know, he painted it, but Elle commissioned him to do it. But the painting depicts this big multi-headed dragon and our main Stranger Things group fighting the dragon, with Mike in the lead fighting off this dragon. And Will tells him, you're the heart of the group. Without you, we couldn't do any of this. But he turns all of this into, oh, well, Elle feels this way and Elle feels that way, but we all know that this is really how Will feels. He proceeds to tell him, when you're different, sometimes you feel like a mistake, but you make her feel better for being different, and that gives her the courage to fight. And this conversation ends up with Will crying and looking out the window. But the whole time, Big Brother Jonathan is watching, and he knows what's up. Now they're all in the car arguing because they can't find Nina. Meanwhile, your boy Argyle, sweet little Argyle, is like, well, what if we can't find her because she's just a really tiny woman? And if she's a really small woman, she could hide behind a small tree. I love Argyle, and Argyle does not get enough love. I'm just saying it. So they stop the car, and Argyle is screaming in the desert, Nina! Nina! Now, he does not find a small woman, but he does find military tracks. So they know they gotta get out of there, and they gotta get out of there fast. And indeed, the military has invaded the lab and they're trying to kill Elle because, again, they think that she's the one that caused all of these deaths and all of this chaos in Hawkins. Now, your girl Elle, she's collared, she's drugged, she's in no position to escape. So Dr. Brenner scoops her up in his arms and he's running out into the desert. But they have helicopters in the sky and they're trying to take you dude out, shooting him multiple times. So he falls down, he's out of it. And that's when the helicopter notices the surfer guy pizza van coming and they're like, hey, like, what is this? What do we do? And the guy's like, look, just kill her. Just kill the little girl. So they put their sights back on her. Your girl Elle is nowhere to be found. And they scooch over a little bit looking for her, and she's doing this. She's coming for him, and she's struggling, and she's making the helicopter go all around, and eventually, that thing crashes and goes up a-blazing. At this point, the surfer boy pizza van pulls up, and she's reunited with Mike and Will. Now, before she heads back to Hawkins, she walks back over to Dr. Brenner, who has released her from the collar. And he's trying to grab her hand and have this sweet moment, like, don't go back, I love you, you're my daughter, let's do this together. You know, trying to reconcile this relationship. And she's like, nah. She gives him a goodbye, Papa, and that girl is out. And it was kind of a weird moment. I felt like the show wanted us to feel for Dr. Brenner and want him to survive, and I was like, no. The episode ends with Max, Lucas, and Erica being dropped off at the Creel house while Journey Separate Ways epically plays. And it is a beautiful, beautiful scene. I mean, look, I'm a sucker for Journey. Look, Kate Bush, your girl, that song, Running Up the Hill, it's a great song. But I am a massive Journey fan. I've been a massive Journey fan before Stranger Things. So when this remix of this song came on, I mean, I was pumped. I was like, let's go get your boy Vecna. Let's get this thing done. And that's it. That's the first episode of Volume 2. Woo! Okay. Even though this episode is fantastic, when I first watched it, I was kind of like, okay, I've been waiting for this Volume 2, and like, you know, they're saying, oh, everyone's gonna die. It's gonna be crazy, and like, nobody that we cared about really died. So I was like, okay. So obviously at this point you realize, oh my God, it's all going down in episode 9. What did you think of this episode? What was your favorite moment? Argyle screaming Nina in the desert? Eddie running around in the trailer park in a Michael Myers mask? Let me know. If you liked this video, give it a big old thumbs up. And if you want to watch more videos from us, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified when new videos hit the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you nerds in the upside down.